everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be filming January's finished pages video. So I've done quite a mixed bag of things this month. So I've done some colouring, I've done some painting, I've done some things that I don't normally do. So it's a bit of a mixed bag this month, But as you know, I've been doing quite a few colour alongs in Johanna Basford Small Victories. So I'm going to start by showing you what I've coloured first. So if we start at the back of the book and work our way this way without giving too much away, what I coloured first was this one. So this is the only page in this book that I didn't actually do a colour along with. I sort of sat down on the couch one day and I was like, I really want to colour something from that book that I can sort of do on the couch with the book sat on my knee watching the TV, and I did this one. And yeah, it was one of them pages where it's kind of going right and then you're looking at it thinking, oh, that's a bit messed up, and then you're thinking, oh no, it looks all right again. And that was the case with the background, because I'm not really good at bokeh backgrounds, and you'll know if you've seen somebody do a proper stunning bokeh background, you'll know it looks nothing like mine. Theirs looks like an actual bokeh background. Mine just looks like a bunch of dots kind of splodged together. But then in the end it kind of looks nice. Even though it doesn't look like a proper bokeh background, it still looks quite pretty. So I'm sort of glad in a way that I didn't film this one, because it would have, I think the video would have been quite messy. Would have been a bit like a car crash of, is that looking okay, is that not looking okay, kind of thing. But yeah, I went for oranges and yellows in the background, and then I brought some of that onto the castle so that we've got some of the orange and yellows showing through it here. And then I thought, what's a nice colour that'll pop out against that, and we went in with teals. I popped a little tiny bit of pink just on the edging of the clouds and leaves down here, and then brown for the earth at the bottom, and lots of white gel pen detail, because you all know that if I was stuck on a desert island and I could only take 1 to 5 items of colouring supplies, I would take a white gel pen. So there is a lot of little dotting details on parts of the brickwork and things like that. Lots of dotting detailing down here, and that's just how I like to colour my pages at the moment. I'm just sort of a bit obsessive over my little dotting details with my white gel pen. So if you see a page that's full of white dots, it's probably one of mine. So that was that one, and next up is this one. So I've literally only just finished this about 2 hours ago. So the last video went up on the channel not so long ago, if you want to watch that back. So the only problem was with this page was that because there's 16 cupcakes, by the end I kind of ran out of ideas. So I found that all my sort of best cupcakes are the ones I did first, and then the ones I did last are kind of just like thrown together a little bit, I noticed. This you can see shining here is the Renaissance liquid chrome watercolour. It's absolutely brilliant. I splashed some of that on. That was cool. But yeah, up here we've sort of got some beach themed cupcakes. I tried to do a mermaid scale cupcake here that kind of went a bit wrong, but I like the beach colours at the top, so I went for a sand and then sort of an ocean and sky colours on there. This one we did a floral cupcake case that I really enjoyed doing. This one rainbows that I drew in, which again I really enjoyed. This one I just love because of the colours and the fruit on it. I think I really enjoy colouring fruit at the moment. I don't know what that's all about, because I used to hate colouring food, and now look at me, I've done a page of 16 cupcakes. But yeah, this one was a galaxy themed, and then obviously we've got our blueberry cupcake. I wasn't sure what this one was. Really love the colour combos of the purple and orange on this one. Again, a floral cupcake case, exactly the same as this one. I felt like we needed another, it was so pretty. And a Valentine's Day one, limes, and then I run out of ideas. So sort of this bottom row was a bit of a mashup of let's just pull pencils out my pencil case and just see what happens kind of thing. After I'd filmed it, I decided this looked like a Snow White cake, so I think that's what I'm going to refer to it as from now on. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Pages like this do take time filming, but when you look at the finished thing at the end, it's worth it. And if anybody asks me and they look at this page and say, oh, that's beautiful, really colourful, I'd love to know what colours you used on that. Then I can be pleased to tell you that each of these tutorials is up on the channel. It's under the playlist that I've got named Johanna Basford Small Victories. So anything that I've done as a colour along in this book will be under that playlist. So there's sort of there's somewhere I've filmed 2 cupcakes in one video, there's somewhere I've only done 1 cupcake in a video, so they're sort of anywhere from 20 minutes long to 40 minutes long, the videos, so they're quite a manageable time to sit and follow along with. They're not too long. So yeah, that was that one. And then we did, where are we? Oh, there we go. We did the fish page. So the fish I really enjoyed doing. The fish was kind of what I call a mindless page. So it was a very limited colour palette. We only really used sort of blues, oranges, tiny bit of green up here, but blues and oranges mainly on the fish. And we switched up the colours, so the main colour on this fish and this is blue, and then sort of switched it round on the middle fish, so the main colour was orange and the florals were blue. And then I was asking my subscribers what I should do in the background of this one, because I was a bit stumped. I was a bit like, but I don't really know what I should do in the background. And one of my lovely subscribers, Kenny, suggested, why do you not do some seaweed? So I thought that's a fantastic idea actually. So I drew some seaweed in using the Derwent fine liners and the Derwent double tip markers. So I did actually test them on the tester page at the back first to check if they bled through. They don't bleed through, so that was good. So no bleed through on those. So then I went ahead and did them. No bleed through. I think as long as you're careful and you don't keep going over and over with lots of layers with them marker pens, I think they're fine. Just make sure that any marker pens you use in here are water based and not alcohol based. Alcohol based will soak through anything. Absolutely anything. Definitely don't use them in here. Do not blame me for that one. No, do not use those pens. But yeah, I like this one. I like that one. So that's the 3 pages that I did in here this month. I do just put this wax paper in between just to protect against any transfer from the pages, because especially this one, because it's a large area of coloured pencil, it can just transfer onto this side. Because there's so much pencil on there, so I just do pop those in just to keep it all protected. But yeah, I'm loving this little book. It's a lovely little book to sit down on the couch with. So when the weather starts picking up and you want to go outside and sit in the sun, you can take this. It's really small. It's like a pocket-sized colouring book. Fits in your handbag if you want to take it anywhere. Really lovely. So next up, I'd been sent a little goodie box from Derwent. I was super chuffed when they contacted me and said would I like to sort of try out their new range. So they've brought out this new range called the Simply range, and I believe it's sort of a budget friendly range, a range for beginners. So if you've sort of, say you've not tried gouache and you fancy trying your hand at gouache, they've got certain art kits that you can purchase where they've got everything you need to create a certain art piece inside this set. So you'll have the gouache paints, you'll have your paintbrush, you'll have like a template to create a lovely illustration or painting. So it's really good for beginners. The only thing I didn't like was the paintbrushes and the gouache, because I've become a bit of a gouache snob, so I like the acrylic gouache now. And the gouache they sent me was just regular gouache, so I've sort of come away from that now. But for beginners, the gouache is absolutely fine. I wasn't a fan of the paintbrushes, but that's the only thing I will say. What I really did like what they sent me was what I'm about to show you now. So I got these. So this was one of their sets. I'm going to zoom in. This was one of their sets. So I think, if I remember rightly, I think you get about 8 wooden slices. So you can see the proper wooden slices there. I think you get about 8. And then you get this lovely sort of cord. What would you call this? You get this so that you can tie them up and use them as little decorations on your Christmas tree or decorations elsewhere throughout your home, whatever you want to paint. And then you actually get acrylic paints in this set. You get a paintbrush, but I actually used gouache on these just because I prefer to use gouache, but the paints you get with it is acrylic. So I thought I'd paint a little Christmas tree scene. It's more of a like wintry scene really, and then I just thought, go on, we'll stick some little Christmas lights on the one in the middle. So that was really fun to do, really fun. I'm going to save these till next year and hang them on my tree. And then this one was a little sort of floral meadow that I created. So yeah, you could do absolutely anything on here, and it's something that's budget friendly that you can try your hand at before going purchasing big ticket items like the Holbein paints, or you know, you can try out something first. So they do a gouache kit, they do the wooden slice kit, they do acrylic paint kits, they do oil paint kits. You'll have to go and check it out if you're interested in trying something new. But yeah, the only thing I'd say is I wasn't a fan of the paintbrushes. You know, maybe you will like them, but I didn't like them. So I just use my own paintbrushes now. If I want to do any more wooden slices, I'll just get my own brushes on there. But they're really, these are adorable. This was my favourite thing that they sent me. So yeah, that was that. So they also sent me, if I can find it, some double tip marker pens, which I've mentioned I used in the small victories bag. And let me bring you up. So they sent me the double tip marker pens, which I used here, and it did actually say on them, I think I've got one here to hand, this is one of them. So double tip marker pen, and then it did say you can add water to these. So I thought, go on, I'll try it out. I'll try it out. For anybody what wants to know about these pens, I will try it out. So I put the sort of marker where I wanted it initially first, and then I got a paintbrush and wet it, and I just sort of activated the pen so it sort of went into a more loose leaf, like a watercolour type thing. And then over the top I just used the fine liners that they sent me. So I got a lot of fine liners from them as well. So these are these ones. They came in 8 different sizes, and I just used that and I created this leaf effect over the top of those ones. So it was a bit of something different. Like I say, I wouldn't normally create something like this with my artwork. Normally it's just gouache paintings on the Pantone cards, so it was really nice to try something new. And then I was in one of them moods where I didn't want to colour, I didn't want to paint, I just wanted to do something mindless and fun and not think about it. So while I had the fine liners out, I had a doodle and I've just named it Doodles because it is just doodling. This was just proper mindless doodling, and I find it really good to do this because actually, although these are just basic little doodles, I wasn't expecting to do something like this. I really like that big flower, and I'm chuffed with how it came out actually, because I was just sat on the couch just like not really paying attention to what I was doing, but just really mindlessly doodling, and I like that one. So yeah, this is what you can do with one sketchbook and one fine liner, just sat on the couch just doodling. It's really good to challenge yourself, I think, and just do something that you wouldn't normally do, and you might surprise yourself. This sketchbook's nice as well, the Ohuhu spiral bound, really nice paper in here. It's quite a smooth paper, but it's sort of, I've had watercolour on it, I've had marker pens on it, I've had, that's alcohol marker pens, I did that one with the Ohuhu pastel marker pens. But yeah, so that was something else that I tried out from Derwent. Now the next thing I tried from them wasn't really my cup of tea, but they wanted me to do it. They wanted me to showcase this from the art kit on my channel, and it's really out of my comfort zone because it's not in my style, but I will show you. You've probably seen it on my Instagram if you're on Instagram. But the one I did was this one. So I'll try not to get my reflection in this if nobody wants to see my face. But yeah, I did frame it so it looked nice on the Instagram page. but they wanted me to showcase this. So this is from one of the beginners kits, and this was the Gouache kit. So in the pack you get 3 templates of a cat, so it's a really light sort of outline of a cat. It's really lightly done. And then you get your gouache paints, you get your paint brushes, and you get a sort of step-by-step, so it'll show you how to recreate this. But it's really a loose style of using gouache for this one. And if you've seen any of my Pantone paintings, you'll know that I'm quite detailed with my painting. I don't really do the loose style. So it was really out of my comfort zone. And to be honest, I like it. I quite like it. Would I do it again? Probably not. Probably not. Just because it's not my style. It's not my style of painting at all, but I thought it was quite cute. But this is good for beginners. It's good because you get everything you need inside the kits. Yeah, like I said, the only thing I didn't like was the paint brushes, but you can use your own paint brushes if you want to. But yeah, that was that one. So that was the De La Reine art set, gouache art set from the Simply range. I'll pop that to the side. And then I managed to do 1 Pantone painting this month. I know, but it's January. What can I say? You have all the sort of chaos of Christmas and then it spills over to January and you find you've got all these appointments and all these things to do. But yeah, the Pantone painting I did was this one, which I'm super proud of. I cannot tell you how much I love this painting. Absolutely love it. And I was saying to one of my subscribers, I'm so like gutted that we don't have hummingbirds over here in the UK. We don't have them. Apparently they're not in Europe at all. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did a quick Google. I was like, well, we don't have them. I wonder who else don't have them, and it said that they don't, they're not in Europe. They're only kind of in America or whatnot. So I'd love to see one in person. Like, they just look so cute. They look so cute. The only thing I wish I would have done, I could always go back and do it, but the only thing I wish I would have done is, because they've got like quite a shiny feather, haven't they? When I've seen pictures, I mean, I don't know in real life, but when I've seen pictures, they've got quite a shiny feather, and I wish I'd have put a bit of the Renaissance metallic green watercolour, just a few little lines over the top of the green there, so it sparkled a little bit. I could always go back and do it, but I'm kind of at that point where I don't want to do it and then ruin it, because I really like this. I really like it, so I don't want to ruin it. But yeah, that's another Pantone painting, and this was the 42nd Pantone painting. I've got 100 of these to do, so if you've been watching for any amount of time, you'll know this is what I started with. This is the very first Pantone painting that I ever did, and look at it. There's nothing special about that. It's very basic. There's no shading in that white. It just sort of looks like white blotches or shapes on the page. It was supposed to be a daisy chain. So that was my starting point. And I've not even been painting every day. I'd say at least once a week, or at least once a month if I've had a really rough time of late. But I'm constantly doing something artistic, and it really shows. To go from that to my latest one, which is that. So I really suggest, like, at first I was the same, where I looked at people doing this challenge and I was like, but I'd never be able to do that. I'd never be able to paint like that. I'd just never be able to do that. And look, it just shows that it's a muscle memory. It's like training your brain. It's like anything in life. You do something often enough and you're gonna at least improve. So yeah, I've loved just looking back. I did pop up I think I put it on TikTok, a little flip through of these paintings, because I love to just look back at them, because there's so much. This is shocking, this one. Because as I went through as well, I switched up paints. So I started off with the Himi, is it Himi or Artex? The jelly gouache. And they sort of, I found that they started cracking on when they went down. Like once they dried, they started cracking. So on a few of these earlier sort of Pantone cards, you will notice some cracking. And I think there's a particularly bad one somewhere. Yeah, this one. This is cracked horrifically. I don't know if you can, if it's gonna pick up, but you can see all the little cracks around here, and there's just lots of other cracking in places. But then I switched up to the Winsor & Newton gouache, which I really, really liked, and then I could see an even bigger improvement in my art. I think I used the Winsor & Newton paints on this. So this was a scene from the Last of Us series with Ellie and Joel, and I loved that. The minute I switched to those Winsor & Newton paints, I was like, wow. And then I progressed again, and I switched to the Holbein acrylic gouache, and I really liked the difference from the regular gouache to the acrylic gouache. I really love the acrylic gouache, and I will never go back to using regular gouache now. So these are two that I did with the acrylic gouache, the Holbein. Yeah, I love those. I love those. I keep saying to my partner I'm going to get some, see if I can get some little frames and pop them up around the house somewhere, because it's a shame to just have them all in this folder, especially the animal ones. I absolutely love. I think I've found my calling with the animal, apart from that one. That one went a bit wrong. I was like, what is that little old man piglet? Yeah, but I love the animal ones. The red panda. I love the red panda. Look at him. The bat. My minion. Our minion. Dabbled a bit in some fruits there. Strawberries with chocolate. Christmas themed. New Year's themed. And then we have our little hummingbird, which I could just pop in here. There's an emergency vehicle going past the house. You're wondering what that noise is? Oh, it's police. The police. Yeah. So that's Pantone card number 42. So I've got another 58 cards to paint. So at the end of the 58 cards, the 58 more I have to do, I'll do a whole video showing the whole 100 Pantone cards. I don't know when that'll be, but it'll be at some point. I may even do, oh, can you imagine the thumbnail for that video? I could just lie on the floor, put all the paintings around my head, and just get someone else to stand up really high, maybe climb up a ladder and take a overhead shot of me lying into 100 Pantone cards. Oh dear me. Yeah, but that's me this month. Not done much colouring, but like I say, I've done a sort of mixed bag of stuff. Look at all this, and my little drawings. So yeah, it's kind of been a bit of a mixed one this month. But I hope you enjoyed watching. Please don't forget to hit that big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.